What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel, check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on some comments that Lou Williams made about Zion Williams, right? He basically thinks that Zion Williams, because he can't stay healthy, he can't really get a hold on his eating, his eating disorder or his problem with food, that the window is closed for Zion as far as ever being an all-star again. And as far as really being the player that he was projected to be coming into the league, you know, it's been Zion has had a hard time, in my opinion, just really just staying healthy. And it stems from him being overweight and putting too much pressure, too much stress on his body, with eating and things like that. And so, he's not like what Charles Barkley was. Like Charles Barkley, while he was playing, he was athletic and explosive too, just like Zion. But Charles Barkley was able to control himself enough to be able to be a great basketball player. Unfortunately, this wasn't the same situation for Zion. So what I'm gonna do now, man, I'm gonna play the audio from the Running Back podcast and the statements that Lou Williams made, and I'm gonna come back and give some more of my input.
Will he ever be an all-star again?
I think the window is closed. The game goes. The game continues. And Boogie can attest to this. I've never been an all-star. But when you're in that conversation, it's easy to stay in that conversation.
That's
but
true.
when you're on the outside looking in, trying to get back to all-star level attention and status, that is a uphill climb. And he can't stay healthy enough to even put him in those conversations. So I'm a big Zion guy. Big fan of his to this day, but injuries have been a major caveat for him, and he had just been able to get right. So I think the window is closed for Zion.
Yeah, so and I didn't even consider the fact that when coming into the league, there were high expectations, right? So he immediately was an all-star, but now that he has fallen and he hasn't been able to stay healthy, like it does, in my opinion, seem like what Lou said, it's harder to work your way back into being an all-star because it's almost like you're starting at zero, whereas though the expectations were high, now the expectations are low, but you're fighting against yourself. You're trying to regain your confidence and stuff like that. So it seemed like it's harder once you let down, it's harder to get back up there. I think, in my opinion, I think the Pelicans are probably, after this season, I think the Pelicans are probably going to move on from Zion. And maybe a change of a change of scenery for Zion will motivate him or give him the opportunity to get himself to reset and to go out and be the a better basketball player. Now, if he goes to a team and he all of a sudden turn it around and is motivated to stay in shape and take care of himself and eat healthy, man, that'll be really a blessing for whatever team get him. So yeah, I think after this season, though, in my opinion, I think the Pelicans are through with him. Whatever team get him, will they be getting the deal when they get him? It depends on Zion. It depends on like how much Zion want to change and how much work and commitment Zion is going to put into to change it and being the player that he can be. When Zion, in my opinion, when Zion is on top of his game, I don't see anybody that can really stop Zion. And I would like to see Zion not only get to the point in his career where as though he's unstoppable, but get to the point where as though he also makes his teammates better. And he can't do that, when he's not on the floor, when he's missing time because of injuries. It's just so much that we didn't get to see with Zion because he couldn't stay healthy. We didn't get to see him develop and push his game to the next level. couple times I've seen Zion go against what's the guy name? Wemby. And he went against Wemby, man, and he looked good out there, you know, for stretches against Wemby. And Wemby is somebody who is not easy to score against, but because Zion is so strong and so explosive, Zion is also he's not easy to defend, right? So just imagine if Zion could have stayed healthy, man, he could have given everybody in the league that kind of you know, that kind of problem, the kind of problem that he gave to Wemby in particular, right? But he just couldn't stay healthy. So hopefully Zion to get it together, and you know, I think he can still turn it around. So hopefully he'll get it together. But that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.